We're actually probably live by now.
Live. Whoop. Giving people 2 minutes here.
Yeah, a few more minutes.
A little early start. Got some new scenery today. New view. It's all good in the hood. Just a little preview for those of you who do not know what we're talking about today. We are talking about redshirting. We're going to introduce ourselves in a couple of minutes, but just thought I'd spark your interest a little bit, especially for those of you who are in high school, or those of you who are a college athlete and have redshirted or are thinking about redshirting. It's a good episode for you guys to be watching. Locker Room Talks, Facebook Live series. We have a guest with us today, too. Exciting stuff.
A lot of good stuff coming your way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good stuff.
Unreal. High energy. Just all around great. Oh, we already got a like.
Nice. Is it Tara?
Just my mom.
Classic.
Classic. Give ourselves a couple more minutes here, guys. What is it? 7 o'clock. All right.
Game time.
Woo, game time. All right, so Keirsten and Nick here again. We have a special guest with us today. Nick, I'll let you talk about him a little bit.
Yep. Joining us today, our special guest for this Facebook Live is one of our interns this spring, Liam Kelly. Liam, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, thanks for having me. Hello everybody, I'm Liam Kelly. I'm a junior at Fordham University. I'm a major in developing technologies and emerging media. I swam at Fordham freshman year, but unfortunately tore my ACL and now I no longer swim.
When you were during your injury at all, did you think about having a medical red shirt or anything like that?
No, I actually didn't.
No, okay. Well, as
speaking of redshirting, well, first of all, if you don't know what redshirting is, feel free to go onto our blog right now, lockerroomtalk.com, and check out our blog on redshirting, just the rules and regulations and some guidelines of what it is to redshirt and if it is a good fit for you. And then we're also going to be talking about it today. So, the breakdown of redshirting is basically your standard redshirt, a medical redshirt, or an academic redshirt. I'm going to start off by talking about just a regular, normal redshirt, which we'll call a standard redshirt. There's really no other name besides redshirt.
Yeah,
I'm saying redshirt way too many
routine.
times right now. So basically what it is you postpone a year of playing, your freshman year only. You discuss this with your coaches, and it's basically to give yourself a little bit more time trying to get prepared mentally and physically. So whether you need to get stronger, faster, maybe you just need to learn how to be a collegiate player if you were a late bloomer, or whatever it may be, you can postpone your first year of play. And then from there, there are a couple different things. I'll let Nick talk really quickly about some other definitions.
Yeah, so as you know, if you do redshirt, like Keirsten said, you basically postpone the 4 years of eligibility in terms of athletic eligibility that you have with the NCAA. And just a few definitions to, in case anyone gets a little confused if we use these terms throughout the event. If you do redshirt, when you come back to school your second year, while you'll be in your second year academically, it'll be your freshman year athletically. So when people refer to you, they might say that you are a redshirt freshman at that time versus a true freshman, which is someone who comes in and plays their first year at that school while they're also a freshman academically. And so then that status will stay with you throughout your career. So if you redshirt your freshman year, when you come back the next year, you'll be a redshirt freshman. Year after that, redshirt sophomore, and, going all the way through until, depending on how long you stay at that school, anywhere up to a redshirt senior.
Yeah, so obviously, or not obviously, but Nick and I both played Division III sports. Liam, Fordham is D1, correct? Yes. So I'll be quite honest, in D3 it is not something that you do. It's not even allowed unless if you're doing a medical redshirt. Liam, I don't know if you could speak about Fordham specifically. Were there a lot of people that redshirted or?
I'm really not too certain, but from what I've seen, people really don't redshirt at Fordham. I think football players will if they're looking to get bigger and to grow a little more before they start playing. But in other sports, it's not really common.
Right. Okay. So typically redshirting is for the bigger Division I colleges. I know my friend from Maryland field hockey, who we'll talk about in a little bit, redshirted. They have a great program. The coach is a 7-time national championship winner, Missy Mehard. And she's actually, we have an interview with her on our website if you're thinking about playing field hockey at Maryland. Great coach. So it's really specific to the school and the program. The coach has to be open to it. If you're thinking about doing a standard red shirt, make sure you're having that conversation with your coach and saying, hey, look, I'm looking to redshirt. You could still get your scholarship while you are redshirting, so there's no deterrent as far as that is concerned. And you will also be practicing and scrimmaging with the team. You will not, and you'll be able to attend the games as well, but you will not be able to compete in any of the games. The second that you compete in a game, then your red shirt is basically done. And then you will have participated for that entire season, unfortunately. So make sure you don't play in any games during your red shirt season. Otherwise, it won't be able to withstand the rest of the time. And coaches will really want you to redshirt in order to better yourself as well as your team. So they're doing it to make sure that you are at your peak performance mentally, physically, and you will be able to be a contributor to the team. So you can actually look at it as a positive. And for those of you that are saying, oh my goodness, I do not want to do 5 years of college, the good news is that a lot of universities will allow you to take that 5th year and start doing your master's classes, which is a huge benefit, especially if you know that you want to get your master's or if it's something that you need to do if you're going to be a doctor or anything like that. So I think standard redshirting, if it's right for you, it's definitely a conversation to have with the coaches, and I think it's a good thing. I wish I knew about it, / I wish Division III offered it, or it's something that I could have discussed with my coaches that were recruiting me throughout the whole experience.
Yeah,
so.
I think if you do redshirt, the standard redshirt, obviously you go to school to play a sport. You're most likely one of the better players on your high school or travel team, so you just want to go in there, make an impact, hopefully play right away. But sometimes you got to look at it in the long run. If a coach asks you to redshirt, if it's his or her idea, you can't take it as a negative. Like Keirsten said, there are some positives out of it. That means when you do play and you still have those 4 years of eligibility left, you'll be able to, make the most of those 4 years. You'll be more ready to play. You'll have a year of, working out with the team, practicing with the team. Just even going to the games and seeing the level of competition will help you. So, there's a lot of positives that could come out of it. While it might be frustrating at the time, if you look back at it, I'm sure it'll be something that you think down the road definitely helped you.
Also, Alex just made a good comment on our feed, and she said, fall sports, you only need to have 4.5 years. Football does a lot. That's also a very valid point.
Yeah, graduate in November or after the fall semester.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to let Liam take over right now and talk about academic redshirting.
So academic redshirting was created in the beginning of 2016. Basically, it's for high school athletes, and it's to make sure that they can't compete if they don't have between a 2.0 and a 2.3 GPA. They also need 16 class credits, 10 of which have to be completed before their senior year starts. And then, of course, they have to graduate high school. This new type of redshirt was created so that students would be able to focus on their academics from the beginning, because normally some students will not take school as seriously until they start receiving college interest. So it's to help them to take their school seriously and get their grades up from the beginning, so that once it comes time to compete, they're not ineligible. One aspect of the academic redshirt is that also college coaches will know if they'll be forced to redshirt or if they'll be eligible their freshman year. So if a student is kind of on the cusp, or if there's two equal students and one of them's on the cusp of eligibility, then they'll go with the student that's obviously going to be eligible their freshman year and refer the other student towards a junior college. The NCAA says that this new academic redshirt is to increase the graduation rates in high school students, but some coaches are actually arguing that it's increasing ineligibility for some students, especially students from lower income school districts.
That's an interesting thing. I wonder, I feel like it's such a new rule that you can't necessarily feel one way or another. It will probably have to be implemented a little bit longer, but absolutely. I wonder what the repercussions of this rule will be and if it'll actually benefit or not.
Yeah, it does sound like it is something that does increase ineligibility, but on the flip side, I do see the point that makes kids, focus a little bit harder in high school, realize that those grades and everything will affect them if it has the ability to affect their chances of playing a college sport. You would think that it'll help them focus in high school more, hopefully get better grades and whatnot to help them get into a certain school or what have you. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
What do you think?
I think that it's very important because, as I know firsthand, athletics isn't always going to be there.
Right.
And most important thing, I think, should be the academics. So if you're just going to bank on playing a sport all through college and skate by in your academics, once that's gone, it's not there anymore. So this definitely helps you to focus and kind of prioritize from an early age.
And again, I guess if your grades are, that low, that is something that you need to work on in college because the balance between academics and athletics only gets harder in college. So if that is something that you struggle with in high school, maybe taking a year off from sports in college to focus on your grades, kind of get that whole routine down is something that can really help you throughout your career.
Yeah, I think we had discussed a little bit earlier. Do you want to make that comment on the junior college trend too that is happening?
Well, normally when senior athletes are being recruited, they wouldn't talk to junior college coaches because they would want to go to a four-year college or play D1 or D3 or D2. But with the academic redshirting, it's showing colleges or coaches rather exactly who will be eligible. So the athletes who are going to be on the cusp or will most likely be academically redshirted, they will start to be recruited by junior colleges, so that the junior colleges will have the best athletes also.
I always, whenever I do seminars at all the high schools and everything, I think junior college for some people is a really great way to kind of go into the Division I realm of things, especially if they just need to get more time and experience and everything under their belt. Really quickly, we have some advice from a real-world redshirter. Her name's Brooke Cabrera. She was on the Maryland women's field hockey team. I know I mentioned their team a little bit earlier. She redshirted, and she said that she loved it, and it was the best thing for her as a goalie because it gave her time to have some real playing time. And I think she actually ended up getting injured. So she redshirted and ended up getting injured her senior year, I believe, and was thinking about trying to do a medical redshirt, but you can't double redshirt. That's another important thing to note. Unless if you petition the NCAA. So you have to go through a petition and appeal to NCAA and explain why you basically should be able to redshirt and then do a medical redshirt. I'm not sure the success rate on that, but I think if you have a pretty viable case and you're doing well in school, they will more than likely allow you to be able to double redshirt. Also, this is somebody who won NCAA championships, so I think they know she takes her sport seriously.
Yeah, so going off of what Keirsten was saying about medical redshirting, so as the type of redshirting that Liam and Keirsten discussed, those are for freshman year coming into college out of high school. So medical redshirt can kind of happen whenever. Unfortunately, athletes get injured. Some injuries are worse than others. So if you do sustain an injury that is serious enough, you have the ability to medically redshirt, which means you won't lose that year of eligibility. There are a few rules that regarding a medical redshirt. One, the injury must occur before the second half of the season, meaning it has to occur in the first half, obviously. And the athlete cannot have competed in more than 30% of the season prior to the injury as well. So whether it's a doctor, you have to somehow prove when the injury happened through like a doctor's note or something like that, and then send it to the NCAA, and then they'll give you that year of eligibility back. As Keirsten mentioned, if you had previously redshirted before, you'll have to petition the NCAA to allow you to get another year of redshirting. So it's a case-by-case basis. Sometimes they do allow it, sometimes they don't. There's no real, formula as to who they allow and who they don't. There have been cases, where kids are in college for 6 years because of their 2 red shirts and things like that. I actually played with baseball at Skidmore, if you guys weren't aware, and one of my classmates, required shoulder surgery his sophomore year, so he medically redshirted. I was talking to him about it before this, and he said it was tough. Obviously no one ever wants to sit out. He felt like he couldn't be with the team, help them on the field, but he was still able to be with us in practice. He would come, he would, update us on his rehab and everything. This is Dan Miller, if he's watching, I'm sure he is. But, he said that it obviously wasn't ideal in terms of not being able to play, but he said he was still able to be with the team, travel with the team and everything like that. So you still kind of do feel like, whether it's a medical redshirt, academic redshirt, or just a standard redshirt, as we're saying, you still feel like you're part of the team, and you still feel like you get that college athletic experience.
Yeah, I actually ended up getting injured my junior year. I broke my nose, but I broke it in a dangerous way where it went up. So I actually had to sit out the rest of the season, but it was in the second half of the season, so I wasn't eligible for redshirting, which was really upsetting because it felt like even though there were however many games left in the season, I still couldn't get those back, which sucks. So had I had broken my nose in the first half of the season, I definitely would have redshirted, but it wasn't available to me. So.
And Annie just sent the link to the article Keirsten was mentioning with the women's field hockey coach at University of Maryland. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. That's down in the comments. And if you do have any other comments or questions about redshirting or anything in general, feel free to let us know, and we'll have an answer as best we can.
Oh, we just got a fun fact from Matthew Battaglia. Just an FYI for Ivy League and possibly other non-athletic scholarship schools, maybe meaning D3 schools, medical redshirts are allowed only if the athlete skips a semester. In other words, undergrads can benefit academically from a redshirt the way they can at scholarship schools, where a redshirt, medical or otherwise, can pursue a master's degree if they can complete his or her BA, BS in less than 4 years.
Good to know. That's interesting.
Good fun facts.
Yeah.
I wonder if he went to an Ivy League.
Yeah, I wonder how he did that.
I don't know. Also, it looks like we had a bit of a tagging error on here. Looks like Tara tagged Alex Funkhauser by accident instead of Alex Sorbonne. So, Alex Funkhauser, thanks for joining. Yeah, classic mix-up.
Well, yeah, again, if you have any questions or comments, please throw them into the comments below. We do have a little game that I would like to play for Liam and Keirsten. You guys can obviously, all the viewers,
type your answers. I'm not going to know the answers,
so speaking of red shirts, redshirting is something that is big in football, especially because, especially big-time Division I football coming out of high school. Kids are a little smaller, slower than these athletes on the field, so a lot of them redshirt. So we're going to do a little Did They Redshirt NFL Quarterback Edition. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to say 3 names, and one of them did not redshirt, meaning 2 of them redshirted in college, one of them did not. And this is just regular redshirt, not medical redshirt. They took their freshman year off athletically. So let's see how you guys do.
All right.
Ready? The first group of 3. Russell Wilson, Eli Manning, and Peyton Manning. Which one did not redshirt?
Oh. All right. If you know the answer, write it, because I don't.
Don't look it up.
I know Russell Wilson did.
What do you think?
I'm going to say Eli Manning just because I'm a Giants fan.
I'm going to say Peyton Manning because he said Eli Manning.
Peyton Manning is correct. Peyton is correct. All right.
Process of elimination, right?
The next three: Cam Newton, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan. Who did not redshirt?
TB12. I don't know if that's true, but he's
Cam Newton.
That is correct. Cam Newton. All right, it's 1-1. 1-1. Tom Brady redshirted at Michigan. Matt Ryan at Boston College. 3. Andrew Luck, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford.
Who did not redshirt?
Who did not? Andrew Luck went to Stanford. Dak Prescott, Mississippi State. Matt Stafford, University of Georgia.
I'm going to say Andrew Luck.
I'm going to agree with Andrew Luck. Stafford.
Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford started as a true freshman right out of high school at University.
Oh, people are helping now.
They're
They're
Brandon Russo got it.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, last one. Let's see if they can break the tie. It's 1-1.
You're going down.
Joe Flacco, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger.
Can you repeat the three, please?
Yep. Joe Flacco, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger.
Can we get their schools? Or do
Joe
we have...
Flacco went to University of Delaware. Ben Roethlisberger went to Miami of Ohio. Not too sure where Drew Brees went, to be honest.
I'm going with Big Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm doing the same only because Brandon Russo got the last one and he said it again.
It's Drew Brees.
Brandon let me down.
Come on, Ben.
What's up with that, Russo? You let me down over here.
So that was a little fun. Yeah, so
Alright, we didn't break our tie, but
so
that's alright.
I mean, that right there shows that out of those 12 names, 8 of them redshirted in college, went on to be NFL quarterbacks. So, just another piece of evidence you need to know. Don't get down if a coach asks you to redshirt. It could be for a lot of reasons, whether he or she doesn't think you're ready athletically or academically, or, in a lot of these cases, they probably went to the school and they already had a starting quarterback who had been there for a few years. So if there's someone at your position who is ahead of you that for, maybe a coach is more comfortable with someone with more experience, whether or not you think you're more skilled and deserving than that player, it could all work out in the end.
Yeah, I know my friend Brooke, who I mentioned earlier, her the goalie that was ahead of her ended up being on the U.S. field hockey team and was like a stud player. So I think she knew ahead of time, like, okay, this is somebody who basically, not that Brooke knew that she would rise to the occasion and could be just as good, but she was like, okay, I need to give myself some more time to be able to compete with her because she was already so successful, and I think a year or two older. So, I mean, that extra time sometimes is just the right fit.
I mean, some people just want to stay in college forever.
Yeah.
It helps you do that a little bit.
Yeah, and Alex, talking again, said sometimes you just need to make some gains.
Absolutely.
Hashtag gains with the Z, though, so that makes it better.
Yeah, always.
With the Z. All right, so we'll leave it open for a couple questions, comments, concerns, whatever it may be. You can also just comment after this live video is over. We'll post it and respond to you right away. We have some people who, will watch it tomorrow or another day.
Yeah.
We'll always get back to you. Also, if you have any suggestions on topics for us to talk about in our next Facebook Live event, feel free to contact us on our website, lockerroomtalk.com, or you can just comment on this post.
Yeah, make sure to visit our site, check out the blog about redshirting, and it really breaks down all the different rules and regulations of all the 3 types of redshirting we've talked about here today. Rate your coach on our site. Go on there. Let us know what you think about your college coach. Like us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We got it all.
Yep.
So make sure you check those out.
Yep. We're going to let Liam say the last few words.
If you are in college and you're looking for an internship, check out this company.
Yeah.
I've had a great time working over the past semester, and you get to do cool stuff like this.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Liam.
So,
Liam's just stepping off the bar over here, guys. Although we did have some interns travel 3 hours last semester. Big Barbie.
Yeah, Barbie and Elle. If
yeah.
you're watching.
Traveled 3 hours.
Got some great interns.
Yeah,
so
great interns.
if you are interested, let us know.
Contact us on their
We're
site.
always looking for new motivated interns to join the team.
Definitely. All right, we're going to close it up here. Again, rate your coach at lockerroomtalk.com and check out our blog on redshirting and share this video.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. Thanks for
you,
watching.
Guys.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Bye.
2 weeks from now, actually. I think our next one is going to be the 27th.
April
So
27th.
mark it down.
Put it on your calendars.